Hello, hello, welcome back. Welcome to step two. I am sure that you learned a lot about yourself. I know that when I have done these activities myself, I've always learned a lot. So it's exciting, and knowledge is power. So, step two is auditing our time. It's a time audit. So, remember in step one, we were thinking, and making that connection of like spending and expenditures with time. So now we're going to audit, we're going to analyze our time, our expenditures of time. Again, maybe step one you breezed right through and you didn't have any questions, but now for step two, you have some questions and you need a little support with auditing your time and narrowing things down. So I would be more than happy. It would be my pleasure to support you. So you can click here, and this will take you to a link where you can book a personal consultation session. All right, so time analysis, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to actually need to look back at your session one document. So you're going to need to have both tabs available to click between. All right. What you're going to do is you're going to compare your ideal day 1 year from now with your current daily reality in your time diary. Here, you may have more than 5. I just put 5 down. You may have 10. I don't know, right? It's going to be each is going to be different for each person. So what you're going to do is you're going to list out current time expenditures that are not in alignment with your future vision. So if I was to look here at this, right, and I want to be able to not only be a businesswoman, but I want to have, extra free time to go on a walk or to go dancing or to have a lunch break with a friend, right? If I'm wasting my time by having my mind wander here, there, and everywhere and not focus on a task, if I'm not getting my tasks done efficiently and quickly, right? These are time gaps. So things that I notice here, my mind wanders, okay? So if I was going to put this, a current type thing here, I might type would be focus. Mind wandering. Okay? And not only is my mind wandering, I am then following through and I am going and getting off task. So I'm following my thoughts, following wandering thoughts, and off task often, right? In this 1 hour of my time, I was off task way more than I was on task, okay? And so I'm just going to go through here and I'm going to note down the expenditures that are not in alignment of my future vision. So my future vision, I am spending my time as a entrepreneur efficiently so that I technically, that's the whole point of being an entrepreneur, right? So we can build the life that we want to live. But I'm not building the life that I want to live because I'm like off task and wandering around in my mind. So it's taking up extra time, right? So whatever it is for you, okay? Now, after completing your time analysis, you're going to consider these questions, okay? You can write them down or you can just think them through to yourself. How has this time audit activity changed my perspective about how I'm spending my time? So I used to think, yeah, I'm really focused and dedicated. I get a lot done, and it's true, but I wasn't getting as much done as I could with these things. So it's changed my perspective to know that I'm not as efficient as I thought or as disciplined as I thought I was. How can I rearrange my time so that it reflects my most important priorities and so that I feel good about the way I'm spending it? Okay. So I need to figure out how I'm going to rearrange this. It's not that I didn't have a time goal for doing something, right? But it's how I'm spending it. So I need to go back and figure that out. What might be challenging? Keeping my mind focused, right? For me, yours might be something different. And who can support me or keep me accountable for staying consistent and finding time for everything that is important to me. This could be an accountability partner, or there are some other tricks you can use, like time focus apps. That's actually been like the best help for me. And I'll go over that in a minute. All right. Now, the next step that you're going to do is you're going to use your 1 year from now journal vision to support you with making your category lists. Also use your time diary. So there may be some things here that you want to keep, right? Maybe at 5 p.m. you had dinner with a friend, okay? Maybe you like keeping dinner with your friend, right? Like that's nice, right? So you could keep that under here and write in here, dinner with friends. Okay, so that's something that I want to keep about my relationships. Okay, but most likely not everything in here is something that you're going to want to keep. So you're going to also look down through here where you wrote your time diary and look at the things that you wrote out, how you want that ideal date to be. And you're going to put in here your personal. So you're going to look for things that had to do with personal time. So maybe you envision yourself at the end of the day in prayer, or starting the day at the beginning of the day with prayer, or taking a long bath or something. Whatever that personal those self visions are that you have, you're going to note those here. Whatever your relationship goals are that you want to see happen in reality in your life a year from now, you're going to note them here. And your professional, like how you see yourself as either, and you know, this is something that you don't have to be an entrepreneur to do. Obviously, you know, you may be trying to climb the corporate ladder, and that is totally okay as well. We're not all meant to work for ourselves. But whatever those professional goals are, maybe a year from now, you want to be enrolled in university to get your doctorate so that you can teach at a university. You know, whatever that happens to be, you're going to list out your personal vision goals, okay? Then, now this is going to be hard. You're going to do only one, all right? You're going to have a list of multiple things in each category. You're going to go through and you can star or highlight whatever floats your boat, so to speak, your number one non-negotiable category or priority in each category, okay? Obviously, everything here is going to be important to you, but you want to find that the first thing that is a non-negotiable. Why? Because remember what I said at the beginning on step 1, day 1. While we can do it all, right? It doesn't all happen at once, okay? So it takes time, okay? So we're starting with one thing. We're not going to try to do it all at once. So one thing in each category, okay? And I promise if you start with just one, the other things are going to happen for you. By working on that top one priority, a lot of these other things that we desire to have in our life will happen as a result of tightening up and focusing on that top non-negotiable category, priority in each category. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take your top non-negotiable goal in each category, and those goals are going to become what you focus on for the next 30, 60, and 90 days. So this is something that if you are in business, you will have maybe done when you do like an annual review or a quarterly review with your supervisor, and they'll be like, what's your 30-day goal for the company, or a 60-day or 90-day goal? But I'm taking it and changing it a little bit. What you're going to do is you're going to start with yourself, okay? The reason why is I'm taking this from a Christian perspective, where it says, that we're supposed to love God with all of our heart, soul, and mind. And then after that, we're supposed to love our neighbor as ourselves. So actually, we have to have, if you really break that down, we actually have to have self-love for ourselves. We have to make time for ourselves. We cannot love our neighbor. We cannot love our spouse. We cannot love our children. We cannot love our friends. We cannot love strangers or our coworkers or any of that, or even our job or our businesses, whatever it is. If we don't have that love in ourselves strong, and ourself as a person is not set right, then actually the relationships end up becoming a little bit off, and our professional life becomes a little bit off. There is a reason that this is how, you know, God set it up. Now, you don't have to believe in God to follow that principle. There are other, you know, mantras out there in the world that also talk about self-love, but we're starting with our personal self. So here you're going to, for the first 30 days, you're going to work on your personal goal. 60 days, you're going to then work on your relationship goal, whatever that happens to be. And for the next 90 days, you're going to work on your top non-negotiable professional goal. Okay. What you will do at the end of 90 days, so this is actually going to really take you kind of like half a year. Remember, this is patience, but I promise you, as you're working through your personal goal, you're going to start finding other things naturally falling in line with your relationships. When you're working on your relationships, you're going to start finding things naturally fall into line with both your professional and also support you personally, okay? So this is all going to work together for you, I promise. I've done this before. I'm not recommending this tool because I've never tried it. It is, you know, tried and true, and it will all work out. Here you can put in strategies that you can use to help you achieve your goals. And then what you're going to do, actually, before you do that, another thing, this is what I recommend. I like a paper planner, so I go into my paper planner, and let's say I was starting a personal 30-day goal for myself. Let's say I want to, a personal self-care goal would be to have a relaxed morning, okay? So my personal self goal might be for that relaxed morning would be to let's see, I could put take a walk. Maybe I want to take a reflective prayer walk. When I get up. Okay, that exercise, it gets me moving. I'm thinking, I'm just kind of taking it easy, right? I'm not running out of bed and like running into the shower and then running and grabbing my keys and then like running everywhere. Okay, so let's just say this was my personal 30-day goal. I would go into Google Calendar. Oops, let me move this. Which is here. Why is it not opening? My computer's slow. Oh, now it's opening 2 Google Calendars. All right, thank you for your patience. I should have opened this in advance. I meant to, but that's all right, it happens. Let me just X out one of these. Okay. So I'm going to schedule, let's say I'm starting it tomorrow, Monday. My computer is a little bit old. Has a lot of photos on it, from photo shoots. I have a lot of things stored on it. It's definitely very slow. Okay, here we go. So Monday, let's say I get up at 5:30, 5 to 6. 5 is a little early for me. I'm going to get up at 5:30. Okay. But for the purpose of this, I'm just going to put here, take reflective prayer walk. Okay, I'm going to save it. And then the first thing that comes up every morning for me now is, oops, I need to edit this. Because what I want is to make it repeat daily. So every day now, what I'm going to do is get up and I'm going to see this reminder on my phone. And I'm going to remind myself that this is my goal for the next 30 days. And then I'll set it for 60 days from now, and I'll set it for 90 days from now for those goals. And then I have that reminder. I also usually put it into my my paper planner too. All right, whatever, I'm gonna save it. It's summer, I might actually want to do this. This is not really my 30-day goal, but for the summer, I actually might enjoy this goal. So I'm just gonna leave it. But anyway, let me get back here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to now commit to prioritizing where I place my power, my energy, my money, okay? I'm going to think about things like what time I actually have to be at work or begin working in my business. So say I had to be at work at 8 o'clock. I'm going to kind of plan backwards for my wake up time to figure out what time I would actually need to wake up in order to start my day off personally the way I want to start it off, or whatever it is that I have chosen to do. And then I am going to also think about activities. I feel like really our start of our day is like the most important part of our day. It really does set our brain into either like frantic frenzy of anxiety, or helps us even if things go crazy, because we really don't know what the day will bring, right? It is, some things are out of our control, some things are in our control. But we want to think about what will make us happy and feeling confident and powerful before we begin our work for our day, even if we are working for ourselves from home. Okay. And this would be, I would say this morning time is, everyone is different, everyone's body is different. So perhaps in the evening, maybe at 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock, this would be the perfect time for you to consider working towards your 30 or 60 or 90-day goal. But I do find, especially for my personal goals, that in the morning, those tend to be the best time. Relationship goals might be, I find more like midday, evening. That's for me. And professional goals, when I'm working on my business, because I also am a teacher and I work for the Department of Education. So during the school year, I do find also like these times in here in the evenings are better for me to work towards my professional goals. But you know what? Also early in the morning could also be very like great times, good times to plug in those personal and professional goals. Okay. Relationships, I have found personally to be a little bit more in this time frame. That's usually when I see people, reach out to people on a personal level with friends and family, those I love. So, because not everyone's up at the crack of dawn, and not everyone is going to bed with us, right? So I hope not everyone's going to bed with you, right? That would be a lot. So, so yes, think about when it would make sense to plug in to your time those goals. as they come up through the 30, 60, and 90 days. And then what you're going to do is you're going to plan out like where you will put your other activities, your other responsibilities, taking your child to school, making dinner for your family, whatever it is, preparing lunches for the next day, right? So then you would plug in where those responsibilities that you have to take care of. You also may, I would say another good way is some things are, if not everyone has it in their budget, right? But whatever you can delegate it out. So for example, now I actually kind of like cleaning. Cleaning does kind of like give me energy and I kind of can think about new ideas, but not everyone likes cleaning, and cleaning can take out extra time. So if you find like you're spending a lot of time cleaning and it's keeping you from your relationships, it's keeping you from your personal and professional goals, then maybe consider, if your budget can afford it, hiring someone to come in and clean for you. I hate doing laundry. I just drop it off at the laundromat. That's like a way that I've found to budget my time and not budget my time, to allocate my time, right? I'm not going to be hanging out in the laundromat in Brooklyn. It's just, I don't have the time for it. And it's not something I enjoy. And and the time that someone's doing my laundry, I can be working on my personal, my professional, and my relationship goals. So find things that you can delegate. So when you look through this time here, your time diary, start looking for things where you can get other people to do that work for you. I'm getting ready in my own business to hire a virtual assistant to take care of some tasks, right? So when I look through my schedule, there are some things I don't need to be bothered with, right? I'm going to delegate that out. That's going to free me up, at least myself, for finding extra time to spend with people I love, to work on my business and not in my business. So looking through here, you're going to figure out also there are maybe things that have to get done, like the laundry, but maybe you can hire that out. And so then someone else takes care of that, and then you freed up time for you to do whatever it is you want to do. Go to the beach, go to a museum, whatever. So here is a tip. This is what has helped me, particularly. I use it mostly with writing because, like I said, even though I'm a teacher and I teach English, I don't really like writing. So that's when I find that I lose the most focus, when I find that I waste the most time. So what I have done is used a focus app. My personal favorite, there's others out there, you can Google them, but this is my personal favorite. It's called Flora. It's kind of like gamified. You set your timer and for 20 minutes or however long you choose. And during that time, it grows either a flower or a tree. If you stop, if you get off of that app to check your email quickly or to check Instagram quickly. And yes, of course, you could do it through your computer, but for some reason, I don't really like checking social media or my email, yeah. I don't like using my computer so much, so it's like a phone thing, or even texting, right? Like eliminates that, because if I go off of that, I kill the plant, and like, who wants to kill a plant, right? Plants are our friends. So psychologically for me, this has been great. Other strategies that I've had people recommend to me, although it hasn't worked, but it does work for other people. Everyone is unique, is putting your phone in airplane mode, and then that shuts everything off. Some people take their phone and hide it in another room. Doesn't really necessarily work for me either. I find this the best, but everyone is different. So maybe this type of an app would not, timekeeper focus app wouldn't work for you. And maybe, just putting your phone underneath the mattress in your bedroom and hiding it, so it's out of sight, out of mind. Maybe that's the best strategy for you. But whatever works for you, that is what you should use. So here is a bonus, because some of us, myself included, do struggle with bedtime boundaries. And I have personally found that the time I go to bed does kind of affect how efficiently I get up the next morning, it kind of becomes this vicious cycle. So to support anyone who has struggles with just calling it a day and going to bed and then getting their rest, and rest is so, so important. It really is something that we all need. I know we all know that we need it, but we really need it. So here's like a little bingo game. You can put it on the fridge, play it with your family, share it with friends, play it with your friends. Also, if you struggle with falling asleep, here are some music options and some breathing techniques. When you're using these, please be gentle with yourself. Okay. Um, but yes, so this is your bonus. And like I said at the beginning, if you would like any one-to-one support with going through and auditing your time from your time diary and your vision for your future, please feel free to reach out with me to me. I would be more than happy. It would be an honor to help you audit your time and figure out where you can rearrange things. And you may you may try this out for a week and you may find it doesn't work for you, and that's okay. That it just means that you need a new schedule. So it is a bit of a process. I would also say, for me, another tip is to plan things out a week in advance, even a month in advance. You could even plan out your calendar in advance for the whole year, depending on what it is. And that could be something also that I can support you with. But it's almost July, right? So my goal is on Tuesday, June 29th, which is like a little bit before July starts. I'm going to be writing out my main goal for each week of July, right? So I know overall already what I want to accomplish in July, but I'm going to break down that big thing, that big idea or those big ideas into weekly points so that it all gets done. So this is the thing, while you can get everything done, remember it is also one thing at a time, and adding things in once you've set one thing up and have it working for you, then you can add in something new and have that working for you. So it's kind of like a spiral, an upward spiral, I should say, of progression, where you don't want to add something in until what you already have is working. Otherwise, it can become very overwhelming. So have fun with this, and reach out to me if you need any support, and best wishes. All right. Peace.